So today we will discuss about the object prototypes. Okay. So this is the most important interview question, and it will be useful in the real-time projects also. Okay. So first they will ask like what is prototype and like where we will use the prototype. Okay. Let us have some simple example. First we need to understand the problem. Then we can see what is the use of a prototype. Okay. So I want to create one simple object. Do you know how to create one simple object? P is equal to something like this. Okay. Okay. Now I want to create the one additional property. Here we have a, suppose think like we have only one property. I want to create a another object. Let P1 is equal to, so create a function constructor first, function person. Okay. I will take only one name for now, and open bracket this dot first is equal to first. So this is the function constructor. We are writing a function and we are taking one argument. Inside this we are using this dot first. So this is a name of our property. Okay. So if you want to create any object for this one, so how can we create it? Let person1 is equal to new person. Okay. And suppose if you are printing this person, so we have two persons. Let us print the console.log of person first. And same thing, console.log for person2. So whenever we are going to print this output, so what is the answer we are going to get it here? We are going to get like a, what is the first name and what is the second name for respective persons. Okay. So let us see. Okay. So John and something. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to add a new property here. Last name I want to add it. Think like this code is already written by your like senior, and or this code is coming from some other library. So where you cannot go and add a change here. Suppose if this is your file, you can write like a last, and inside this one you are going to add a this dot last. Suppose you don't have access for this constructor, but you want to add a property here. You understood the scenario, right? So how can you do it? We can do it simple. Okay. Let sorry, person1 dot age is equal to 25. Okay. So if I am like where I have added this property first. So if I am going to print this first now, I am going to remove this first and we'll print the two objects. Okay. So what will be output for first object? John, and age is a 25. And what about second person? Mary, and output. What is the output for age? There is no age. Age will be there or age will be empty. Age will not be there. Okay. If you see, so for first person there is a one is there, for second person there is no age at all. Okay. If we are going to use this like this, okay, object dot age, object dot method, only this variable will be available only in particular object. Okay. Suppose you have created 10-person object, you want to add that value in the 10 persons, not in one person. You want to add for all 10 persons, but you don't have a control over in this function. So now what is the way? Either you have to write like a person1 dot age, person2 dot, this is not a recommended approach. Okay. To solve this problem, we have a concept called prototype. Okay. Using the prototype, we can add a new properties to our constructor. Okay. Let us see. All by default in all the JavaScript objects like string, array, number, date, all the classes, they have a property called prototype. Okay. Now every class we will have this property prototype. Okay. Using the prototype, what we can do, we can add a new properties and new methods. Let us see what is the problem we are going to solve here. So here, so what is our problem? I want to add this age for all the objects. Okay. Here, first you go to, what is my constructor name? Person. Okay. Come here, person dot, okay, prototype dot, okay. And what is the property I want to write it? Age is equal to 25. Okay. I am not accessing through the object. I am accessing through the person constructor, and then I am writing a prototype, and then what is the property I want to write it? I am writing. Okay. If we are going to print this now for both objects, we are going to get the what is happening? Person dot prototype dot age. Okay. New person. Let us see if something is wrong. Person dot prototype dot, okay, say hello. Person prototype age. Okay, let us print this value. Okay, so what is the value here? We are seeing, we are not seeing any age, right? Okay, that is fine. Here just go and print a value. If there is no age property, what is the answer? We are going to get it undefined. If there is age property, we are going to get a value. Let us see what is the value for both. What is the value we are getting it 25, 25. Then why this confusion? Why it is not printing by default? Okay, whenever you are adding through the prototype, by default there is a property called enumerable. Okay, if it is a false, whenever you are printing like an object, it will not print, but internally the data will be there. Okay, that is the reason we are able to print the value, but it is not able to show in the toString method. Okay, so if you want to add any data for all the objects, then what is we can write it first your constructor name, then prototype, then age, anything. Suppose I want to write a function, I want to execute this function in all the places. Okay, then what I can do, person dot prototype dot, okay, get name, okay, is equal to something. I'm going to write a right side function, and write this function will return a this dot. What does this means? Current object. Current object, what is the first for first one John, for second one Mary, something like this. Okay, suppose now I want to print this value. How to do it? Get name, something like this. Okay, and suppose for the here also we can say get name. Okay, so see John and Mary. So using the prototype, what is possible? We have added the variable and we have added the new methods. These are the two things we have added. It's possible or not possible? Possible. Okay, so like this we can add any new methods and new variables to the any object. Suppose date class is there, huh? Whenever you want to print any date, is there like a date is who created date class? Like JavaScript people. We did not create, right? I want to add one method in the JavaScript. Okay, simple. That is also simple. You can write a date dot prototype dot, okay, uh, get my format, something. Okay, this is not available in the date class. You are going to write a new method for the date. Okay, so suppose what we are going to do, you are going to return like this. Okay, get my format y hyphen something like this. Okay, so now I will create a any date here. Let's create any date here. Let d is equal to new date. So now try to call this method d dot get my format. So d dot get my format. Okay, so what it should return? So person one, not okay. So I'm saying person one, somewhere I have written. So let us see what is the person one get name is not a function. Okay, let's okay. So let us reload again. So what is the format? MOI. Okay. So here the problem, if you see here, okay. So this is a class available in the date. Okay, even though date class is already available, I am able to add a new method to the date class or not. Okay, whenever it is required, you can write any custom methods and you can add to that particular prototype. Whenever you are adding to prototype, you can use entire your all the files, not only in this file. You can use in all the files. This method will be available in the all the files. That is the use of prototype. Okay, so this is the most important interview question, and they will ask where you will use it. Whenever we want to add any new function or any new variable, then we can go for a prototype, and they will confuse you. Simple, I can write like p1 dot age is equal something, right? Then what is use of if you are going to write in only p1, it will reflect only in the p1. But if I want to reflect in all the objects, then where I have to declare prototype. Okay, yes. So and there is a one simple example here. Let us see here. So whenever I'm going to create a yesterday we have seen a create method, right? Object.create method. How many ways we can create an object? 4 ways, right? So there is a one of the way is nothing but a this prototype. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so simple, we'll run one more example for prototype and we'll wrap it. Okay, Suppose I am going to have this an example. So function person. Okay. So we are going to have a name. Now I want to add a say hello method to this function constructor. So we are writing a person.prototype. Okay. So inside this is a backticks, right? So this is a backticks. Here we are saying this dot name. What will it will print a name? Okay. And here I'm creating a first person and saying hello. So what is the output? It will print a my name is something like this. Okay. And so second person, I am going to create a second object using the prototype. Okay. Here I'm giving like a earlier we are giving either null value or something like this, right? Instead of giving like this, you can give the person.prototype. Okay, so that automatically all the properties will come to this person. Here you can say you can give any name here and try to execute this function. So if you are going to execute this function, we are going to get the hello first for first person John, for second person Jane, because this is the value we are giving here, something like. Okay, so in the create method also you can give your prototype. That is the point here. Okay, and if you want to verify what is a prototype or not, something like this. Okay, there is a method called Object.getPrototypeOf. Okay, it will return the what prototype it is. So let us try this one and we can see the what prototype it is. Okay, so here I'm having a one person object, simple object. Okay, so here what are the properties are available? Two properties, name and age. Okay, suppose you want to verify whether this name property is there in this object or not, then we have one method called has own property. Okay, so this will return true if this property is available. It will not check about the value, what value, nothing ma, only it will check whether this property is there or not, that's all. Okay, and what about age? We are age also we are having it. Let us remove this one. Okay, so this method will return if the property is available, it will return true. If the property is not available, it will return a false. That is a line. Next here is I want to get the what prototype it is. So there is a method called Object.getPrototypeOf, and you will give this p, like whatever the p object, your object, you give it. So we can store that into one variable. Okay, now I want to verify is this object is exactly prototype of p or not. If this is a prototype of p, it will return true. Suppose if you are giving prototype of a person or some other object, this will return a false. Let us check the first one and later. Okay, so first true. So what is the first true here? This p has a name or not? Yes, I have a name property in this object. And what about age property? There is no age property. That is the reason it's returning a false. And last one, whether this prototype is belongs to this p object or not? Yes, that is the reason it is returning a p. Suppose if instead of giving like this, if I am giving a person, okay, if I am giving this person something, now what is the answer it should return? This person. Okay, person prototype object at p and name is also having. Okay, here also name is having. If you are giving any other property like which is not at all relevant, this will return a true, so false. Okay, so whenever you want to verify your prototype, you can check like is prototype of, but this method will never use it. Okay, this is only for education purpose only. Okay.